Tony Stark saw something in Peter Parker that no one else did. From the moment he recruited a 15-year-old kid in Civil War, he believed Peter would become the greatest hero in the MCU. He nurtured that potential, protected it, and died for it. And now in Secret Wars, we're about to see Tony proven right in the most heartbreaking way possible, because Peter Parker will have to face Dr. Doom wearing Tony Stark's face. Today, we're breaking down the entire journey from Civil War to Secret Wars and why this moment has been building for a decade. Let's go back to Civil War. The Avengers are falling apart. Tony needs an ace in the hole for the fight against Cap. And what does he do? He flies to Queens and recruits a kid nobody's ever heard of. A 15-year-old high school student who's been stopping car thieves in a homemade onesie. The others thought Tony was insane. Steve Rogers didn't want a kid involved in their war. Natasha questioned the decision. But Tony saw something in Peter that no one else could see. Look at you go. Wow, nice catch. 3000 LB, 40 MEPR. It's not easy. You got mad skills. He saw himself. The genius, the heart, the need to do the right thing even when it's hard. Tony looked at Peter Parker and saw the hero he wished he'd been at that age. So he gave Peter a suit, gave him a mission, gave him a chance to prove himself on the biggest stage imaginable, the airport battle in Germany. And what happened? Peter held his own against Captain America and the Falcon. A kid with 6 months of experience fighting two of the greatest Avengers ever. Tony watched Peter prove everyone wrong. Queens, you're up. That moment of confidence. Tony believed in Peter so completely that he threw him into the deep end against super soldiers and assassins. And Peter didn't just survive, he impressed everyone there. But here's what makes it even more powerful. Steve Rogers, the guy who thought bringing Peter was reckless and dangerous, he saw it too. After the battle, Steve told Tony, "That kid's got heart. You got heart, kid. Where you from?" "Queens, Brooklyn." Even while criticizing Tony's decision to involve a child, Cap acknowledged what Tony already knew. Peter Parker had something special. Two father figures, one who cultivated that potential and one who acknowledged it. Both of them saw the same thing. Peter Parker was going to be great. After Civil War, Tony became Peter's mentor. And the most important lesson he ever taught Peter happened in Homecoming. Peter screwed up. He disobeyed Tony, went after the Vulture alone and nearly got people killed. Tony took the suit back. "Okay, it's not working out. I'm going to need the suit back." For how long? Forever. And when Peter begged for another chance, no, please, please don't understand. The thing is, this is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit. Tony said the words that would define Peter's entire journey. If you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. That hit Peter like a freight train, because Peter had been relying on Tony's tech. The web shooters, the AI, the training wheels protocol. He'd been playing with Stark tech instead of being a hero on his own. And Tony saw that. He saw Peter becoming dependent on the suit instead of trusting himself. So Tony took it away, forced Peter to prove he could be Spider-Man without the fancy gadgets. And Peter did. He stopped the Vulture in his homemade suit. No AI, no Karen. Just Peter Parker and his powers doing what's right, because it's right. Tony saw that. At the lake when Happy brought Peter to the new Avengers facility. Tony offered Peter everything. A new suit, Avengers membership, world. And Peter said, "No, I'm good. I'm good." He chose to stay in Queens, to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man instead of jumping into the big leagues before he was ready. That's when Tony knew he was right about Peter, because Peter understood the lesson. It's not about the suit, it's not about the tech. It's about the hero underneath. And Tony smiled because he knew Peter was going to be okay. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another Marvel deep dive. Fast forward to Infinity War. Thanos is coming and Peter sneaks onto the ship to space because he can't let Tony go alone. Tony's furious at first, but then he realizes Peter's not going home. So he does something he didn't do in Homecoming. He makes Peter an Avenger, right there on the ship to Titan. "You're an Avenger now." "All right, kid. You're an Avenger now." Peter finally earned what Tony offered him 2 years earlier. He proved himself not by accepting the title when it was handed to him, but by refusing it until he was ready. And now on a ship to an alien planet to fight a mad Titan, Tony knights Peter. The student becomes the warrior. They fight Thanos together. Tony, Peter, Strange, the Guardians. They almost win. Peter's the one who figures out the plan to get the gauntlet off. A kid from Queens outsmarting a cosmic warlord. Tony watched Peter step up in ways he never could have imagined. You can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood. And then the snap happens. Thanos wins and Peter Parker starts to fade. I don't feel so good. Peter's terrified. He doesn't understand what's happening. He's just a kid and he's dying, and the only thing he can think to do is grab onto Tony. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please, please don't want to go. I don't want to go. Peter dies in Tony's arms. The kid he recruited, the kid he mentored, the kid he knighted as an Avenger gone, turned to dust. And Tony has to live with that for 5 years. That moment broke Tony Stark. For 5 years, he carried the guilt of bringing Peter into this fight, of watching him die, of failing to protect him. And when the plan to reverse the snap came together, Tony hesitated. He had a daughter now, a life. But the thought of bringing Peter back, that's what made Tony say yes. Endgame happens. Everyone comes back. Peter returns. Hey, it's Peter Parker. You can see the relief in Tony's eyes. Subtle, but it's there. His kid is back, and they fight together one last time in the battle against Thanos. But this time, Peter can't save Tony. Tony uses the stones, snaps Thanos away, and dies from the power. Peter's there watching his mentor die. We won, Mr. Stark. We won, Mr. Stark, but Tony's already gone. Peter lost his father figure, the man who believed in him, the man who saw his potential when no one else did, the man who died to bring him back, gone. After Endgame, Peter's alone. Tony's gone. The Avengers disbanded, and in No Way Home, everything falls apart. Peter's identity is revealed. His life is destroyed. MJ and Ned can't get into college because of him. Aunt May dies because of him. And Peter has nowhere to turn. Doctor Strange doesn't care about Peter's problems the way Tony did. Tony would have moved heaven and earth to help Peter. Strange just wants to fix his spell and move on. The other Avengers aren't there. Happy tries. But he's not Tony. Peter's alone in a way he's never been before, and he makes the ultimate sacrifice. He tells Strange to make everyone forget Peter Parker ever existed. MJ forgets him. Ned forgets him. Happy forgets him. The entire world forgets him. Peter loses everything. The Stark tech, the support system, the connections. He's back to basics. Homemade suit, tiny apartment, no one to call, no one to help. Just Peter Parker and his powers. And this is where Peter grows up. This is where he becomes the Spider-Man Tony always believed he could be. Not Tony's protege, not the kid in the fancy suit. Just Peter, the hero underneath. The training wheels for real this time. No more calling Tony. No more Stark tech saving the day. No more Avengers backing him up. Peter's alone and he has to be his own hero. And he is. This is the maturation Tony prepared him for. Every lesson, every test, every moment of doubt, it was all leading to this. Peter becoming strong enough to stand on his own. And now Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU. But not as Tony Stark. As Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom. The main villain of Avengers, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Think about what that means for Peter Parker. He's going to see Tony Stark's face on a villain. He's going to hear Tony's voice coming out of Dr. Doom's mouth. He's going to watch someone who looks exactly like his dead mentor conquer the multiverse. The psychological warfare this creates is devastating. Imagine being Peter. You watch Tony die. You've spent years living with that loss. You've matured, grown up, become your own hero. And then you see him again, except it's not him. It's a monster wearing his face. Can Peter fight someone who looks like Tony? Can he throw a punch at that face? Can he stand against someone who sounds like the man who believed in him when no one else did? This is the test Tony prepared Peter for without even knowing it. If you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. Peter has to be stronger than the suit, stronger than the tech, stronger than his emotions. He has to face his greatest fear, which is losing Tony again. Except this time, he has to fight Tony's face to save the multiverse. Every lesson Tony taught Peter was for this moment. Be your own hero. Don't rely on the tech. Trust yourself. Do what's right even when it's hard. Stand up even when you're terrified. Dr. Doom is going to force Peter to use everything Tony ever taught him. By the time Secret Wars happens, Peter will be fully grown. No longer the kid from Queens. No longer the teenager in the Stark suit. He'll be a seasoned hero, someone who's lost everything, who's been forgotten by everyone, who rebuilt himself from nothing. The Avengers will be there. The X-Men, the Fantastic Four, all of them fighting Dr. Doom to save the multiverse. But for Peter, this fight is personal. He has to look at Tony Stark's face and say no. He has to stand against the image of his mentor. He has to be strong enough to do what's right, even when it means fighting the face of the man he loved like a father. And here's where Tony's prophecy gets fulfilled, because Tony always said Peter would be the greatest. You're going to be better than all of us. In Secret Wars, Peter proves it. Not by being the strongest, not by having the best tech, but by being strong enough to fight Tony's face and still do what's right. By becoming the hero Tony always knew he'd become. Think about the full circle of this journey. Civil War, Tony recruits a kid nobody believes in. Homecoming, Tony teaches him what matters isn't the suit. Infinity War, Tony makes him an Avenger. Endgame, Tony dies protecting him. No Way Home, Peter loses everything and rebuilds himself. Doomsday, Peter faces his mentor's face as a villain. Secret Wars, Peter becomes the hero Tony always said he'd be. 10 years of storytelling. From the airport in Germany to the final battle in Secret Wars, Peter's entire journey has been about living up to Tony's belief in him. And in Secret Wars, he'll prove that Tony Stark was right about Spider-Man. This is the emotional core of the multiverse saga. Not the multiverse itself, not the variants or the timelines or the cosmic stakes. It's this. Peter Parker becoming the hero Tony Stark always knew he could be. Tony built the MCU. He was the first, the foundation, the heart. And Peter's carrying that forward. The student becoming the master. The kid becoming the legend. The person Tony believed in, proving that belief was justified. Secret Wars won't just be Peter versus Doom. It'll be Peter versus the ghost of Tony Stark. The ultimate test of everything he's learned. The ultimate proof that Tony's faith wasn't misplaced. And when Peter stands against Dr. Doom, when he looks at Tony's face and chooses to be a hero anyway, that's when we'll see why Tony recruited him in the first place. Not because Peter was powerful, not because he was useful, but because Peter had heart. Steve Rogers saw it in Civil War. That kid's got heart. Tony saw it too. And now in Secret Wars, the entire multiverse will see it. Peter Parker will be strong enough to face his mentor's face and still do what's right. Brave enough to fight the image of the person who believed in him. He'll be the hero Tony always said he would be, because Tony Stark was right about Spider-Man. And we're about to see why. Tony saw greatness in Peter Parker when no one else did. He nurtured it, protected it, died for it. And in Secret Wars, we'll see Peter Parker become exactly what Tony always knew he would be. The greatest hero in the MCU, the one who carries Tony's legacy forward, the one who proves that Tony Stark's greatest creation wasn't the Ark, reactor, or the Iron Man suit, or even the Avengers. It was believing in Peter Parker. And when Peter defeats Dr. Doom despite his face, when he saves the multiverse by being the hero Tony taught him to be, that's when Tony's story will be complete. Not because he came back, but because the kid he believed in became everything he said he would be. Tony Stark was right about Spider-Man, and Secret Wars is going to break our hearts proving it.